Do you have any idea how hard it is to find someone who's never learned about Five Nights at Freddy's lore? It's pretty freaking difficult, but this is where I want to introduce you to my best friend, Kai. The other night, I had a few Cosmopolitans, and I got in a call with them and started explaining the lore of FNAF as best as I could, in chronological order. And since I don't have a full video set to come out this month, I think it's only right that I give you guys a little taste of the nonsense that was this call, especially with it being FNAF's 11th anniversary this month. So I hope you like it.
Yeah, as long as they're fully consulting adult robots, I don't care. Some of the designs are very cute, okay? I get it.
Glamrock Freddy would.
I understand. Oh, his voice is very calming. That's still a bear.
Michael Kovac, yeah.
I'm punching Michael Kovac repeatedly because he needs to stop voicing characters I have crushes on. Stop!
We are armed with or at least I'm armed with drink of choice. You don't have your liqueur, unfortunately.
No. That might change.
I guess that might change. If your brother ever responds, that might change. Okay, so yes. I think the best thing to start with is the fact that the games are not in chronological order. I believe. Okay. Don't. Oh God! I didn't mute my phone. In order, it goes 4, 2, 1, 3, 5 for the main games. And then you get Pizzeria Simulator comes after that. And then you get Ultimate Custom Night after that one. And then after that, you get like the rest of the official games. I'm not counting like the FNAF-iversary games. The FNAF VR games come after Ultimate Custom Night, because even though they are just basically re-releases of old game content, they are their own continuity, or not necessarily continuity, but they're their own things. Like, they are part of the lore of the game, and they take place at a different point. Now, there are also novels, so the lore that I'm going to be explaining is a bit of a mix of the game and the novels. But I want to show you the FNAF 2 movie trailer, because this is actually going to be kind of important. Okay. So, I'm gonna play pause quite a bit. Sorry. This is the location of... Yeah, she says the franchise location. She says this is the original. Not technically true. This is the FNAF 2 location that you play in, the one that, it has no doors. After, like, the setup of the first game, the fact that there are no doors to protect you, this is the one that has no doors. However, this is not actually the original location. The original location was Fredbear's Family Diner. I'm
writing that down. That seems important.
It is. It's very important, because I bet you've heard of the Bite of 87, right?
I have, and the Markiplier meme?
The Bite of 87?
Have you ever heard of the Bite of 82?
What? No. I thought, wait,
okay, cool,
I thought there was 87 and 89. Wait, there's an 82?
There's an 82! I'm going fucking crazy, because these are real. They made these. These aren't CG. They're just full-sized animatronics. Yes!
Oh, that is actually really neat. Oh, puppet.
So the puppet is very important. I will, after we watch this, I'll explain. She's very, very important.
The fucking music box is getting me.
Yeah. Well, that's hers. It makes her calm.
Yeah. Okay.
So a lot of this is just going to be about the drama in the movie, not so much the lore. Yeah. So we don't give a fuck about it.
Josh,
we could
whatever is fuck. Being sulky and a good brother, and therefore people want to sleep with him. Yes.
Yeah, we love it. We love you, Mike Schmidt. Go away. So,
get out of here. Let's say it about you.
Get out of here. So, Fredbear's Family Diner, sometime in the 80s, Henry Emily and his friend William Afton, business associate, started a business where they had a business model of family entertainment and food. So, Family Diner, it served burgers, milkshakes, that sort of stuff. Henry Emily was the guy who would, he did the designs.
He did, like, the engineering-y part?
Yeah, he built them. He actually built the things. and did the business side of things. He designed the Springlock animatronics, and these animatronics were a nice yellow in color, and they were made so that they could be fully functioning animatronics to work on stage, but you could also wind back the inside mechanisms so that those animatronics could be worn as suits, so that a employee could go and walk around with the characters and just interact, so that you wouldn't have one on stage and one out interacting. Don't break the immersion, you know?
Like the weird Disney rule.
Yeah, the weird Disney rule. I think it's also very important because something that people mistake a lot is, from the start, William Afton was just not right. That boy ain't right.
He's just a wrong man.
he's just not great. So, William Afton has 3 children. He has his oldest son, Michael, the daughter, Elizabeth, and a young son who we don't know the name of. So, the Fredbear Family Diner used to be the youngest son's favorite place to go to see the animatronics, and he saw them as his friend, right? And because, you know, his dad created them, and so he felt a very special connection to them. There was like a cartoon that was popular locally. And one day, while looking for his dad in the restaurant, he sees his father putting one of the employees into a Springlock suit. Not killing him, but just putting the suit on him.
Right.
He might, it's speculated he might have seen something like him getting Springlocked. He might have just seen his dad putting a suit on someone, and it, you know, to a kid that age, because he's really young, it kind of looks like he's eating, like the animatronic is eating the person. And so he developed a terrible fear of the animatronics and the characters. His very best friend in the world is a Fredbear plush, and this plush talks to him. And we learn later that that's actually William using a speaker he built into it to talk to his son, you know, to reassure him and say that, don't worry, I'll protect you. Everything's all right now that we're here. Tomorrow's another day, you know, reassuring kind of dad things. Don't know why he doesn't just talk to him, but whatever.
Just talk to your child, okay?
Just talk to your fucking child. So Michael, older brother, teenager, he's a jackass. He's a teenager in the 80s. He's probably got lead poisoning. He's just an absolute douchebag.
Oh, he 100% has lead poisoning.
Yeah, so...
I'm just putting lead poisoning under him. Just gonna point that out. This is important. This is important to me. Continue. I spelled it.
How do you spell lead?
No, poisoning. I put poop in the eyes. Don't worry about it. Keep going.
He develops a terrible fear of these things, to where he doesn't even want to participate in his birthday party that's coming up at the family diner. And, you know, there's neighborhood kids there, including Henry Emily's daughter, Charlie. We'll get back to her. At this party, after being absolutely terrorized by his brother all fucking week, his brother and his jackass friends are like, looks like little brother's a little scared, he's a little shy. Let's make him go give Fredbear a big old kiss. So they take him over to this animatronic, and they shove his head into Fredbear's mouth. And that is when the bite of 82 happens, because it just absolutely decimates his cranium. Like, I bet you've seen you've seen the animation, just crunched. Oh god, Kit's calling me. One second. BRB. Hello.
Are you at my house right now?
No, I'm not at your house.
Alright, sounds good. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Alright, love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
Okay, so I have I'm just putting his name as a bunch of question marks, but the baby was killed 82 because of the bite of 82.
So, not killed yet. just absolutely terribly injured. And this, really fucks William up. But it also really fucks up Michael, because he didn't think that was gonna happen. He might be a jackass as a teenager. Yeah, he might be a jackass, but he didn't want to kill his fucking brother.
Yeah.
And so he starts, and this is where we start getting into the actual, specific games. Because you learn that information through mini-games in something else.
Okay.
This is where we get into Five Nights at Freddy's 4. So,
okay.
The start of the series, technically. Due to his guilt, Michael starts having terrible nightmares. So the entirety of FNAF 4 takes place in a young child's bedroom, where you are running back and forth between two doors where there are dark hallways, and you have to check for these nightmare animatronics. So these nightmare animatronics aren't as scary as they are, but they are real. The running hypothesis at the time was that these things are just, a product of his imagination and guilt. But they're actually physical things that are actually coming into his room or menacing him. We find this out through, in the books, we learn about these things. I don't remember what they're called. We're going to call them cognition chips, which basically they emit supersonic or subsonic tones that warp how your brain perceives things. Like, they make your eye vibrate in a specific way to where you see things that aren't entirely there. So because of his grief, and also his anger at his own son, William decides to use Michael as a test subject for this technology by tormenting him every night with horrible, horrible things. Now, in the background of this game, occasionally you can see beside the bed for a second, you can see IV drip bags, you can see medication, you can see a pot with morning flowers, basically. Unfortunately, Michael's younger brother dies. He was in a coma this whole time, but he passes away because of this and everything that happens. And so William takes the information he learned after basically farming his child for content.
Horrifying.
Horrifying. He's not a good
father.
He's not a good father. He never was. And he throws himself into his work. But as he's doing that, he discovers that part of his son is still attached to Fredbear. And he learns that when a person is killed by or inside of an animatronic, a little bit of their soul, called remnant, sticks to the mechanism, something that's made to look human in an approximate way. It just kind of, in a sympathetic magic sort of way, keeps hold of the soul a little bit. So he discovers that part of his son is attached to Fredbear, and so he wants to research this further. So far, a little girl that we don't know who is, that is later referred to as the Vengeful Spirit. This is the first time that he kills a child. And he shoves her body. He shoves her body into, the first time. He shoves her body into the Fredbear suit, or otherwise makes sure that her soul gets attached to it, so that the weak part of his son's soul, which we call the crying spirit, or the crying child, is attached to Fredbear, along with this vengeful spirit. So when he realizes that this is a thing that can happen, he says, "Oh, I have to learn more." Of course, saying to himself, "Oh, it's for the good of my child. I will put you back together. I'll figure out how to bring my son back to life."
This is the worst science project ever.
He fucking sucks, dude. He decides from here he's going to target the easiest child he can get to, which is his business associate and best friend's daughter, Charlie. By this time, children had been going missing from around here. Egad, wonder why? Who knows? But because of this, Henry designed the puppet to be a security measure. So it would see like the color of a child's wristband and would make sure that they, stayed inside of the facility or inside of the restaurant, or it would, keep suspicious people away from the children, yada yada. Specifically also made to always be near Charlie, because his daughter is always at this place where, alleged kidnappings may be happening. The police still aren't sure. So he wants his little girl to be safe. William takes issue with this, and so he traps the puppet inside of its box. The box that it, comes out and does things. And other than being a security robot, its job is also to, hand out party favors to children when they go by. It lives in a gift box, so it gives gifts. Whenever it sees a child who's upset, that's what it's programmed to do. William traps the puppet inside.
Anxiety, almost? Or, it just responds to the negative feelings, I guess?
It's a robot, so it can't understand, it doesn't understand the feelings, but, it sees child crying, I give you gift. Child feels better. Yeah. My job is done.
The child stops crying.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how it goes. So William traps it inside, and he lures Charlotte out into the back alley of the establishment. And at this point, they have moved from the family diner to the FNAF 2 location. So, because they've upgraded. There's bad memories attached to Fredbear Family Diner. A child died. One of the owner's children died. So they get Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, the original one, which is the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 location. So, with the puppet there acting as security, because it's a much larger establishment than the family diner, out back of the first pizzeria, the puppet finally breaks out of the box it was trapped in, and it goes outside. It's raining, so it starts getting soaked. It's made mostly of, fabric, with a endoskeleton of machinery and surprisingly high-tech stuff. The puppet finds Charlie out there, and it finds her dead. It doesn't know what to do, so it just crawls on top of her to shield her from the rain. And she wasn't actually entirely dead, but she dies in the puppet's arms. And so her soul, her remnant, attaches to the puppet. Now, the child's souls, they're not 100% the children, they're not 100% the whatever personality the animatronics would have. They're in a sort of mixed, dreamlike state constantly. So the puppet, now having, a sense of moroseness of being killed before, but also still having its duty, after, Charlie is discovered, it's ruled an accident, basically, because she wasn't kidnapped like the rest of them. Not even sure if William was purposefully trying to kill her to get the puppet to do that, or if he just wanted to make Henry Emily suffer. Long debated topic.
Okay.
So, in this location, there were some older prototype animatronics. These are the ones that you will end up seeing in Five Nights at Freddy's 1. They looked ugly, they looked scary to the children, they didn't want to put them out on the show floor, so they were just in the back as prototypes. But when William was killing the other children,
you need to stop this, good God!
He's a madman. When William was killing the other children, the puppet saw their corpses, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, these children are sad. I need to give them gifts. Gives them gifts. Nothing happens. Because they're dead.
Fucking no.
And so it does the only other thing it can think of in relation to itself, which is in part Charlie now, of course, I can give them life. So the puppet is who puts the bodies inside of the animatronics. like fully.
Oh my fucking god! So the puppet, okay, is way more. God, this is making me fucking sad. What the hell? Why is it so sad?
Puppet's job is to give gifts, give life. So it does that. This location still isn't shutting down until the Bite of 87, which happens because the animatronic Mangle, who looks like Foxy but is white and pink, who was supposed to be like a modular animatronic, but the children kept going and like literally tearing it apart, and so
why would they do? Children suck, I guess.
Children suck.
Very rude children. Don't die. Leave that be.
But Mangle let them do whatever. Didn't like adults, but would let the kids do whatever. So the people who worked there decided, you know what, it's better just to leave it as a toy that the children can reassemble into however they want, and we'll just call it Mangle. They're the toy animatronics. I'm getting my shit mixed up.
Okay.
So there's
so I'm putting a note for FNAF 2. These are toy.
In Five Nights at Freddy's 2, you just need to know that there's a difference that even I forgot. In Five Nights at Freddy's 2, there is Toy Chica, Toy Freddy, Toy Freddy twice! Sorry, let me do that. Toy Freddy, Toy Freddy. Don't forget about Toy Freddy. I'm 4 Cosmos in, please.
I almost wrote Freddy for a second.
In FNAF 2, there's Toy Bonnie, Toy Freddy, Toy Chica, and then Mangle, who would have been Toy Foxy. Okay? We got it?
Okay, Mangle, who should have been Foxy, but not Foxy.
Toy Foxy.
Because people
specifically
suck. Yes.
Toy Foxy. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I have the note above it that says Toy Not Fun Time.
Because of all of the disappearances and shit that happened, Henry made sure that they had an extensive internal database of, like, registered sex offenders and criminals, so that if any of them ever showed up, their facial recognition software would go up and say, ding, 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 this guy's not supposed to be here, and take care of him. But William, you know, the guy who was the man behind the slaughter, wasn't on any of these databases. So... Because he hadn't been caught yet. But Mangle didn't contain the soul of a child, because William was still experimenting. It contained the soul of a dog. So, the first...
I'm so upset. I'm so sorry.
So other than at the brand new main location, the first person that William killed was a dog who belonged to a little girl that was a regular at the establishment. He put on one of the old decommissioned Springlock suits, and he told this little girl who was there playing, even though she was sad because her dog was missing, he went up to her and said, "Hey, I know where your dog is. You want me to take you to him? I can take you to your dog."
I'm killing this man in my mind palace. I hate this man so much. What the?
He lures her into the back and he kills her, and she would go on to become Chica. So Mangle, who was already, you know, mad about adults because an adult fucking killed it. It killed the dog that its remnant would attach to Mangle.
Right.
Because there were things happening. So they opened up the secondary location, which had the corpses of the children inside of the suits, because they needed something to put on stage for the kids.
Are the corpses just rotting in the suits?
Yes, they are. They are actually, because nobody ever checked inside of them. Let me pull something up for you. FNAF
I hate it here. What?
Yeah. Does this have a date on it?
This is so unsanitary and gross, and I hate this man, and I hope that his death was painful.
Oh, it is. We're getting there. We'll get there.
We'll get there when we get there.
We'll get there when we get there! Okay.
The paycheck? Was it a good paycheck at least?
No.
Oh.
So...
Man, doing all this garbage for fucking crumbs, I guess.
Yeah, for nothing. Okay, so this is the FNAF 2 paycheck. So,
okay.
1987, Jeremy Fitzgerald. He is the victim of the bite of 87 because he was acting as night guard and Mangle chomped his frontal cortex, his frontal lobe.
Okay,
So-
I'm writing this down. Mangle did it. You should see my notes. It's getting already very confusing.
It would probably help if I had like any notes to explain this and I wasn't just going off the fucking dome.
I love
Okay.
that you're doing this off the dome. This is impressive. Okay, go. Okay, Jeremy Fitzgerald still did get murdered by Mangle,
Yeah, okay, so
but is not the phone guy.
No. Okay, so
Okay.
in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, you hear
Yes.
on the phone guy talks about the bite of 87. You know, he's where that thing, that text comes from of like, oh yeah, ever since the bite of 87, you'd be surprised how you can live without your frontal lobe intact. You know, FNAF 2, all of those murders happens, Puppet gives gifts, give life. At the time that this is going on, this location is falling under investigation because kids are going missing. So, this location, the secondary location, which is the one that you get in Five Nights at Freddy's 1 with the original uglier animatronics, that have the bodies and souls of children inside of them, which is why they get a little bit quirky at night, is opened up so that there can still be revenue for the Fazbear Company while this is all going on. During this time, Jeremy Fitzgerald, who you play as in FNAF 2, at the end of your 6 nights, I think it's 6 nights, at the end of your 6 nights, you get chomped by Mangle, and that's where the bite of 87 comes from. All of that shit. Then, this location gets closed for a while. You see flyers about this in the first game, but everyone assumes that it's this location that we are currently at that closes. But no, it's the original location that gets closed down, that we are seeing the news reports of. So during FNAF 1, we hear from Phone Guy, who goes in to basically take the position of Jeremy Fitzgerald, because, you know, he's not gonna be he's on that workers' comp.
Yeah.
He got his front lobe chomped.
He's dealing with something else right now.
Yeah, he's dealing with his own shit. We, in FNAF 1, play as a character, Mike Schmidt, and this character is Michael Afton. So after everything that happened in FNAF 0, we're just gonna call we'll say FNAF 0 is the Fredbear Family Diner events, okay?
Okay.
So
Yes.
everything that happened in FNAF 0, and everything that happened in FNAF 2. In that time, William was still working on new animatronics, including the sister location animatronics. So the sister location animatronics.
What was this man? Sorry.
somewhere in his, probably somewhere in his 50s at the time of his death, maybe his 40s.
Oh.
I think probably somewhere in his 40s at the time of his death. But don't worry about that. He goes on for longer. So
God damn it.
Put
So
this
man down, please.
The sister location animatronics were designed by William, and they were made with the express purpose to be more sophisticated and cooler, but also to trap children, just to gank them wherever they go. These animatronics were not set to be in any specific location. They were animatronics that were made to be loaned out. Basically, like, you know, nearby my house, there's this big depot with a bunch of carnival rides. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. And when they're not, it's because they're on loan around the country being carnival rides in whatever local state fair is going on. That's basically what the sister location animatronics were meant to be. Which were, oh god, Funtime Freddy, I think? God, this is gonna be a nightmare for me to try and edit in any cohesive way. So
You can have my notes, but they're gonna make it
so in the sister location, which is basically just a storage depot, this is where you have the Funtime animatronics. You have Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, Ballora, and Circus Baby.
Question mark. His wife became Ballora?
Not canon.
Okay.
not real. You've been lied to.
The internet? Why would the internet lie to me?
People would do that? Just go on the internet and lie?
This is some bullshit.
Now, it is hypothesized that William might have put his wife into Ballora, because she's the only adult woman-looking character there is. There's no evidence behind this. There's no evidence for this. Maybe in some of the Fazbear Frights books, but those aren't super canon. That's where MatPat Impreg comes from, so...
Oh, are we getting to that? Is that actually going to be on the test?
No, it's not going to be on the test, because it's not really relevant to canon.
Okay.
But...
I'm glad at the very least that Impreg is not on my test.
Yeah, sorry. Canon Springtrap Impreg baby is not gonna be on the test. Around when William is doing the murders, he makes Circus Baby. And he tells his daughter, Elizabeth, that he made her just for her, the perfect little girl for the perfect little girl, you know? Never be alone in a room with her. Never explains to her why. And
is that what
it's...
that fuck-ass audio from TikTok...
You said you made her for me! Yes.
I hate her!
That's where that fuck-ass audio comes from. And so, Circus Baby, she has her own sophisticated AI, and she doesn't know why she's always counting things. But she knows that whenever she's in a room, at a party, anywhere, she's always counting the number of children coming and going. There's 3, then 2, then 4, then 3, then none. She's always counting how many people are in there with her. And then, one day, Elizabeth gets fed up with the fact that she can't ever see this thing that her papa made for her. So she decides to sneak off at a birthday party that William's working at, overseeing Circus Baby being deployed at. She wants to go and see her. And so Circus Baby, counting as always, sees 3, then 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. And Circus Baby always knew that she had a special ability, that she could make ice cream inside of her tummy for the children. And so, against her will, against her own conscious judgment, she makes ice cream and she's holding it out to this little girl that's in here. And so Elizabeth goes to take the ice cream. And then there's suddenly screaming and silence. And none of the other partygoers hear anything wrong, because children scream at big party events all the time. And the silence happens so fast that nobody really would have noticed it.
That's fucked up.
She doesn't know why she did it. It upsets Circus Baby that it happened, because this is the only time in her life she was able to make ice cream for someone. And this just snaps William further into wanting to figure out the nature of Remnant, because now he's lost 2 children, 2 creatures of his own design. One just complete accident and unfortunately childhood bullshittery, but then another that was designed to do just this. And so he goes further into his now I would say insane research into Remnant through killing children.
So many questions. You can tell me about that later. I'm so confused.
During the events of Five Nights at Freddy's, I think 2, at the end, even though William has been studying the fact that a child's soul, or anyone's soul really, even a dog, can imprint onto this specific type of metal that is being used in these animatronics, in the approximation of a human form, he doesn't take the fact that ghosts might exist seriously. In the original Fredbear Family Diner location, there was a secret wall that was made specifically so that if the spring locks triggered, because I don't think I explained this when I was talking about the spring lock suits, they are not very good, as one might expect from something from 1982.
Box. Yeah, I'm making a separate box that is specific to the spring lock suits. Bad.
Spring locks are not good. Any amount of moisture makes them loosen. Any amount of heat makes them loosen. Any amount of movement makes them loosen. So when you're gonna put a human person who's gonna sweat and get hot inside of this costume while they're moving around, interacting with children, the spring locks mechanism might fail. And so they had contingency plans for this. So and you're gonna hate this as someone who works for OSHA, in the Fredbear Family Diner location, there was a secret room not listed on any blueprints or schematics anywhere that employees who got spring locked, as they so lovingly called it, were meant to go and navigate to and bleed out in or call for help and wait for help in, while trying not to move too much to get...
You have a mud room for when you're fucking dying?
Yeah. That's not on any
What?
So what kind of citation? I'm sure that would be a willful, right?
Okay, pause. Pause. Wait, okay. That's at least 4 different citations. Because we don't have uniform citations, but we do have, don't kill your employees. What? Huh? Listen, I can suspend my disbelief for a lot of things, but a murder?
Okay, you have to understand, William's British. They don't have OSHA.
Now I have to make a note that he's British.
Why do you think Springtrop's voice is always like, "I'll always come back"?
He was just, bleeding out eternally!
No, William's British.
It's as gross as that sounds. It's gonna be so fucking for real. I was decomposing!
I mean, he is. William was using this specific room that's not on any schematic, to go and, commit his murders, break apart the animatronics, put them back together, kill kids. Because after he noticed that the puppet had shoved the bodies into the animatronics, he was like, oh, that's much better. So he was, thinking about doing that. And that's why the Funtime animatronics were made to yoink kids, but also kill them instantly. Upon close inspection of Fredbear, hidden within his schematics, there's a fucking buzzsaw in there made to decapitate the child as soon as it captures them. So that's fun. Let me find it.
This is really fucked up, but my brain immediately just went, just put a fucking wood chipper in there at that rate, dog.
No, he'd leak! That'd be too gushy.
It'd be too good. Listen, it would get the body much smaller. I hate to say it, but apologies to the people at fucking home listening to this, because that's where my brain goes because of my job.
But, by this point, by FNAF 2,
there are my notes.
Michael Afton is an adult, and he's noticing that there's some fucked up shit going on, and so he's trying to do— oh my god, that's a lot of notes. He's trying to do better, to try make amends for what he did to his little brother. And he's also noticed that his dad has been doing some really fucked up shit, so he's going around trying to figure out what's happening and trying to remedy it, because he has an inkling that his father is killing people, but he has no proof, and he doesn't know why. So he's under a different name, Mike Schmidt, instead of Michael Afton. He's applying to these jobs to, get the lowdown. So if we work under the assumption that Mike, is in search of these things while he believes his father is still alive committing these murders, and he's just trying to basically do private investigation without getting a PI license or really knowing anything, then that's—
he's just kind of fucking freeballing it out here and hoping that he finds something.
Yeah, while basically doing undercover boss type shit at the Freddy's locations. While this is happening,
terrible. Okay.
William is trying to gather the animatronics that the children's souls are inside of, and trying to take them apart. Because he realizes if you take that metal and you melt it down, you can make more metal that's still soul-bound. It conglomerates. The souls merge.
I'm making a new page, because what the fuck? What?
Animatronics that are made with the melted down metal of an animatronic that has a remnant, that has had a child's soul or someone's soul attached to it, makes it easier for another soul to attach to it. So that's in part why he was doing it, is because he wanted more samples. Like, he wanted stronger samples, because somewhere in the back of his mind he was still like, oh yeah, I gotta bring my son back. That's why I started this, huh?
I guess I gotta.
I
don't wanna, but I guess I gotta.
At some point he got lost in the sauce and got stuck on the idea of immortality more than reviving his dead son. But
okay.
While he's doing this, in the room from Fredbear Family Diner that's not on any map.
Yes, the murder room.
Yeah, the murder room. While he's in the murder room, that, by the way, Fredbear Family Diner is dilapidated. It's abandoned, no longer used, of course, because they moved on to the the Freddy Fazbear IP.
Yes.
The ceiling is caved in, and it's raining. Again, much like when Charlie died. The souls he has now freed because he broke apart the things that they were residing in. Their remnant is still there, but the souls are out. These ghosts come up and they gang stalk William Afton while he's in the fucking Springlock suit doing his work.
Good.
And so he ends up getting springlocked because the rain falls on him from that hole in the ceiling.
Good.
And wouldn't you know it, the building is being basically foreclosed upon. And the wall that you have to do a specific fancy thing to to get into is closed. So none of the workers who come in soon after to try and figure out, like, okay, is this place even okay to still work in? Like, can we sell it? Whatever. None of them know that there is a man who is now rotting inside of a Springlock suit in this location. Because he died. He got springlocked and he died. But that man is full of so much hubris and so much pride that he didn't actually die. He just went dormant for a while. And we'll come back to him, because now Michael is in full swing of trying to figure out what his dad was doing, which is happening at the same time as Sister Location. And you wouldn't think so with how sophisticated the animatronics are, but you'll just have to bear with me. Okay, this is Circus Baby.
Oh, I hate this baby.
It's okay, she looks worse when you can actually see her in color. This is Funtime Freddy.
Oh, she got teeth.
So, before,
Why he got teeth?
because they all got teeth.
Sorry. I don't want them to die.
This is what Circus Baby looked like. Mike goes through Five Nights at Freddy's 1.
Right.
Now, because the reason Mike is fired at the end is for, among other reasons, foul odor. While he was searching for these things, okay, we're not actually in Five Nights at Freddy's 1 yet. We're still in Sister Location.
Okay. I'm erasing my note.
Yeah, erase your note, because I think it is after his father's disappearance, because he doesn't know that his father died. He just knows that his father was doing weird shit, and being very suspicious, and, maybe killing people, but he has no proof. He decides to go to the most secretive place he has, which is a facility that's underneath their house. Forgot to mention this. The Five Nights at Freddy's 4 house is built... The Five Nights at Freddy's 4 house is built on top of Sister Location. Like, the storage facility. He's Batman.
He's evil serial killer Batman.
Mike gets hired. Mike gets hired to do things at the sister location because he wants to see what the fuck is going on. He starts working there, and he sees that these animatronics are more than just a little bit fucking quirky. While working here, Circus Baby starts talking to him, like very conscious, not just like the way an AI might talk to someone, but very consciously talking to him. And after days and days of this, she's like,
I'll help you escape. We'll get out of this together. Don't worry. I don't know why these things are happening, but I will help you.
And while trying to, and by the way, this is like the last night at the sister location. The maintenance people who've come in to try and like help fix the animatronics that have been acting weird, you turn on the light in the animatronic enclosures, because of course that's a thing. You turn on the lights in the animatronic enclosures and you see that they've both been hanged. So that's fun. And you can't find any of the animatronics on this final night. And so Baby says,
I will direct you how to get out of here.
And she directs you to the scooping room.
I don't like this.
So as you can see on Circus Baby here, and to an extent on Funtime Freddy, all of them have very modular looking parts, right? They're all very broken up, kind of like exoskeleton-esque. That is because they were made so that if there was an issue, you could easily peel the exterior off of them and just get at their inner workings, their noodles, you know?
Yeah, get to the part that actually hurts.
That's the part where the scooping room comes in. So William made this tool specifically to extract remnant, but he didn't say that, you know? He did not note that, oh yes, this is where I'm supposed to take out the soul juice from my kidnapping animatronics. No, this was just where he was trying to basically make a cover story of, see, they're modular, so it's easy for cleaning. You just scoop out the insides and you can power wash it all down, haha. But imagine that in like a British accent. And this is ages after Elizabeth has died, by the way.
Gross.
Gross. So, I think she probably died kind of soon after when he first made Circus Baby, because she hadn't existed for long. She didn't even have a chance to capture anyone. The first person she ever captured was Elizabeth. So it happened very soon after her creation. So, you know, maybe still in the 80s at this point, maybe in the 90s. Circus Baby directs you to the scooping room, where she explains in great detail how the animatronics have basically unionized and they want to get the fuck out of there. They have created a communistic hive mind called Innard. But
okay,
they need something to inhabit. They can't just go out as a scary noodly monster.
No.
So they need someone.
No.
And Circus Baby knows that you're Michael. Because you, as Michael, look like the spitting image of your father. That's why both William and Michael are purple. They're like slightly different shades of purple, but that's why they're both purple, is so that they look, it sells the idea that they look very similar. That's why later in FNAF 1, all of the animatronics are going after you, because they remember someone who looks a lot fucking like you killing them.
Okay, that makes more sense, I suppose, versus, because I just thought you were just a guy, and they're like, fuck you.
No, they don't care if you're just a guy. That's why, so Phone Guy, he says in Five Nights at Freddy's 1 that he used to work at your position, but he never had any problems. They just get a little quirky at night. He probably had a great time with the animatronics who would just come and kind of like T-pose in the doorway being like, I threw up. You know? But because
I would like some crayons.
But because you look like William Afton, they want to get you. But back to Circus location.
Listen, understandable. I want to fucking get God if I also was purple. I'm sorry.
So back at sister location, you get
in
scooped.
the scooping room. No!
You get scooped.
No!
You get just full on all of your innards made into outards, and the animatronics fill in your body.
Ha ha ha!
And they go start
I
living.
hate all of that.
They start living a nice suburban life until your body starts decomposing, and your body starts turning purple.
More purple than we already were?
No, we are now turning purple. Before we weren't purple. So before
Okay.
purple was just a metaphor for how we looked. Now purple is literally we are decomposing because we're not alive anymore. We're just literally the crunchy outside of a marshmallow you've toasted a little bit and peeled off from the rest of the marshmallow. That's what we are. But we're made of meat, so we're
see the face
decomposing.
that I'm making. Hold on, pause. You can't see the face that I'm making. What's the closest that I can?
I imagine
There we
you're making
go.
like the Excalibur face.
No, I'm Muppet facing the way that y'all want me to Muppet face.
But after a while, the animatronics leave you, and they leave the body, and they leave it like a discarded towel in a heap on the ground. All that their like conglomerate voices say is, "He won't die," over and over again. Maybe because you were immediately filled with animatronic parts, or maybe because you were scooped with the thing that's made specifically to extract remnant, or because you are your father's son and just a real hard ass and too determined and also pissed off at this point.
I hate to say this, built wrong.
Built wrong. Danny
Built
Phantom
wrong.
style, Michael starts haunting his own corpse. So he evicts all of the animatronic parts from him, and he, as a ghost, just starts haunting his own skin, basically. And that's why he's purple.
This is the
And that's why
worst Danny Phantom ripoff.
That's why he gets fired in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, is because you smell so bad, because he's a corpse, because he's decomposing as we speak. And now, if he wasn't trying to figure out what the fuck his dad was doing before, he's even more trying to do it now, because why the fuck did your creations literally kill me? And so, you keep making, like, doing these odd jobs, doing your best to discover what your father has done. Now you're pretty sure that your father was committing murders, and every animatronic attached to the Freddy Fazbear franchise is probably haunted because he had his fingies in every single pie there was. So Michael, who's still carrying the burden of killing his brother, which is why you end up seeing Golden Freddy. Golden Freddy is a hallucination in Five Nights at Freddy's 1. It is a guilt-based hallucination.
I'm making a note of that. I also need to tell you that on my notes for Michael, in big text, it says, "Smells bad, died for it."
They killed him because he smelled bad. No!
Okay, so Golden Freddy, not real.
Golden Freddy isn't real. That's his hallucination of Fredbear. That's why the jump scare, you should look up the jump scare for Golden Freddy in Five Nights at Freddy's 1. That's why it looks like that, because that's him remembering killing his brother inside of Fredbear.
I will not, because I know it will give me nightmares.
It's one of the slower ones.
Me. Is it? I don't know if I like that.
Don't worry about it.
I'm worrying.
Okay, so to recap. 0, 4,
Yes.
2, sister
Yes.
location, 1.
I'm fixing my notes, but yes. Okay, so 0, 4, 2, sister location, 1.
Yeah, that's the proper order. After this is Five Nights at Freddy's 3, which is the one where we meet the character Springtrap. The Five Nights at Freddy's 3 takes place in, like, I think the 2000s, where it is a horror attraction based off of the old, Freddy Fazbear Pizza IP. Because everybody knows that there's shit ton of death attached to that shit.
I'm sorry. Okay, pause. So they go, you know what'll be really cool and bring in the money is an active site where we know people got moided.
So, okay.
Horror attraction.
By this point, the in the games, by this point, Freddy Fazbear's is not really in operation anymore. They've been entirely closed down. This is a third party who is obsessed. It would be like if someone made a fucking horror attraction based off of Jeffrey Dahmer, which I'm sure someone has done, but it's the same
I hate
concept.
To say it, probably someone has, yeah. People
Yeah,
are gross about
it's the same concept of like, this fucked up thing happened IRL, so we're making a horror attraction based off of it. Isn't that cool? And the phone guy in this is like a California server dude.
That's important.
Yeah, it's very important. It's not. So,
Important
first
to us,
night, you're
but-
just looking around at all of these things in this place. And we learn that this place, that this attraction is happening in, is the old, once foreclosed upon, not super renovated, but renovated enough that people can go through it, Fredbear Family Diner location.
No!
And while they were cleaning it out to make sure it was stable enough for people, behind a hidden wall, we found one! We found an animatronic, dude! They found Springtrap.
I am putting my pencil down. I am head in hands, very akin to looking like Shinji Ikari's fucking dad right now. Who thought this was a good idea?
Some guy in Silicon
Who thought
Valley.
this was... Do we... Okay. I fucking hate people so much. Yeah, dude, yo, it's gonna be fucking sick. I feel like we should put one of these motherfuckers in here. This is why a lot of horror boils down to, hey, y'all, watch this. I fucking hate it here.
Well, it's also in part because, like, by this point, almost 10 years have passed. Michael is still a living corpse. About 10 years have passed since the last activity at a Fazbear pizzeria. And so people, like, a lot of this has fallen into obscurity. Because remember, it's the 90s. Internet's not so big. It's just word of mouth. People assume that it's a lot of exaggerated storytelling, because no way that shit would actually happen in real life.
But there'd be news reports on it.
There would be news reports on it. There are plenty of newspaper reports about it. But
that's just, you know, the news.
What most of the public has seen is just, there have been lots of missing children reports that coincide with visits to this place, and they shut down for health and safety reasons because these animatronics fucking stink.
I'm gonna be so fucking for real. I would hate to be the OSHA investigator assigned to this place.
Dude, that would be so funny.
I
You go and you're like,
love
hey, why do they
to-
look mucusy and stained?
I'm gonna be so fucking for real. I would love to, at a completely different time, sit down with you and look at these fuck-ass locations and tell you what's wrong with them.
Give me all those OSHA infractions.
Oh my fucking god. Trips
So-
to OSHA people at this time.
The thing is, I think you wouldn't find that many OSHA violations at Five Nights at Freddy's 1 location.
No!
I really don't think you would. Maybe cleanliness
Probably
at
not.
most.
I'm thinking noise violation. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
I mean, if the animatronics get up in the OSHA inspector's face, I don't think the OSHA and like start screaming at them. I don't think that OSHA inspector is going to be able to make their report, you know?
Probably not. I think I'd just pee myself, start crying, and then quit my job.
Throw up.
You're so right, bestie. Here's my badge. You're in charge of OSHA now. Bye.
I own all of OSHA. Anyway. But Five Nights at Freddy's 3. So you are dealing with your father, because we are still playing as
Yeah.
Mike Schmidt in FNAF 3. Springtrap is there, and he's fucking pissed that his kid is here. I think he probably would have been pissed if anyone was there, but he's extra mad that that Michael is here. Because even though you're decaying and rotting, you know, it's still, he can still tell. At the end of FNAF 3, you end up burning this place down, assuming that you also burned Springtrap down with it. But you realize that there are lots of animatronics still out there that have these child souls in them that are just wandering around, you know, junkyard to junkyard, aimlessly being attracted to the sound of children's laughter. And so
horrifying.
It becomes Mike's mission to try and free all of these child souls that his father has trapped. So this is where Pizzeria Simulator comes in. It seems, the game makes it seem like it's just a non-canon, like, asset management simulation. But by the fucking end of the game, you find out that it was all set up by Henry Emily, the original co-founder of Freddy Fazbear's, because he also discovered that this shit happened. And he wants to set the children free as well. And he had intended for all of this to happen, and not for the murders, but for all of the events in Pizzeria Simulator to happen, and for whoever took the night guard position to be able to escape. But because he realizes that it's Michael, he realizes that you probably don't want to escape the end that he has planned for every animatronic you've collected in this building. So, first things first, I'm going to show you this music video, which I think sums up pretty nicely how William experiences life at the end of at the end of his spring trapping career. By the way, it is important to note that, so from 82 to, you know, 90, which is, like, 82 is when his first son ended up dying. Then to the 90s when FNAF 2 was happening. Then to, like, in that time, which is, like, probably also in the 90s of when the tail end of FNAF 2 happened, and then Sister Location was happening. So 20 years, and then another 10 years or so until FNAF 3 happened, and then another 10 to 20 years. So Michael has been in this rotting corpse for quite a while. By now it's like mostly mummified. Finally aged like beef jerky. It has been around like
the British Museum would love that.
Yeah, it's oh no. Call the FNAF fandom the British Museum the way they want to take down Michael or something. Or I guess the Victorian British. Since they ate the mummies. But start at FNAF 0 all the way to Pizzeria Sim. It has been around 40 to 50 years.
Okay. Horrifying.
Okay, so that last line where he says all of the research in his head couldn't leave it all behind. So after Michael Afton, jingle jingle, after Michael Afton tries to kill him, after Michael Afton tries to kill him in Five Nights at Freddy's 3, he realizes, oh shit, even though I've been undead and dormant for like 20 years now, I don't want to die. No, it's not that. It's not a selfish desire to not die. It's that I've done so much meaningful research in my life. It would be a shame for it to all be thrown away for nothing. And so he looks into ways of preserving his mind. And so he, in the time between FNAF 3 and Pizzeria Simulator, he discovers that he can kind of put his remnant into game cartridges and VHS tapes. So put that into your brain for later. Put that down as a note while I go and find the next thing that we're going to listen to.
I'm making the note. I don't like it here. And
after his bullshit and into Pizzeria Simulator. You play this, you go through, you have your pizzeria that's based off of the nostalgia that Freddy Fazbear's brings to children. Because this in-universe, the pizzeria that you're playing as a resource management sim, is still like working as a pizzeria. Final night after one of your jobs at this make your own pizzeria franchise, Fazbear's franchisee owner, whatever. One of your duties is every night you have to go into the back alley and see if any animatronics have wandered in. That's how it's written in the game. Just see if any of them have wandered up and plopped themselves into the back there. And then you have to salvage them, by going through this checklist and doing small administered shocks like you did in Sister Location to, as behavior correction toward these animatronics. And, putting them back on stage, refurbishing them. So you have to find, the three main ones are Scrap Baby, because at some point Circus Baby was so annoying that she got voted off of the island survivor style, and Innard kicked her out.
I'm so sorry. They were just like, you need to stop talking about ice cream, girl. We get it. We understand. Oh.
Well, after she was freed from the Circus Baby exterior, she took on a lot more of Elizabeth's bratty British child tendencies. And so they just got really annoyed with her and kicked her out. So she remade herself from garbage and scrap into Scrap Baby. So, Scrap Baby. Springtrap, who looks really fucked up. He just looks so bad. You should look up Pizzeria Simulator Springtrap versus normal Springtrap. He looks so fucking ugly. As he should, honestly.
I never gonna look it up, actually.
Supposedly it's because after one of the mini games that you could play in FNAF 4 was basically you're trying to red light, green light, catch a tiny Springtrap doll animatronic on a specific spot on the floor. And if you fail, you get jump scared. I hate that fucking minigame. It's very difficult and also scary. Because you're literally turning your back on an animatronic you know is gonna run up and try and get you. But...
this is the worst game of my life.
Yeah. But after he burnt up at the end of FNAF 3, it's assumed that he found the doll Springtrap and kind of rebuilt himself with parts of that. Because it was still an animatronic, it was just a small one. And he looks fucking dumb. He looks dumb and ugly. So you're supposed to find Scrap Baby, Springtrap, and a animatronic called Lefty. And if you don't know what Lefty looks like, you should look it up. Lefty is a black bear version of Freddy with red cheeks and a lazy eye. Lefty was made specifically to trap Charlotte because Henry Emily discovered that his daughter, he discovered years after William that Remnant was a thing and that part of his daughter was still alive. And he felt very bad about that. Because Charlotte, as the puppet, had been going around still trying to give gifts, give life. She'd still been trying to help other children because that's just what her personality was. She was a very, leadership personality, help others as much as you can, little girl. She was just very good. And that imprinted a lot into the puppet. And so she was still trying to save the other animatronics for all these fucking 50 years after her death.
Oh my god. Her poor fucking brain at that point.
Yeah, poor thing. She was at that point, really fucked up. And so he made Lefty specifically to trap her, which is really cool because you can look at the kind of splash art pieces of Lefty, and you can see that the puppet is tangled into its inner workings. It's really cool.
Ooh.
But he knew that she was too smart to fall for this trick and that she would escape if not physically held in place, and he wanted to free her soul. So You have to find these 3 animatronics mainly. And then, after doing that is when you can experience this final cutscene, which this is Circus Baby kind of taunting Michael Afton at the end of Pizzeria Simulator, which if you get into the secret night, which I think is non-canon in Sister Location, she starts Circus Baby starts taunting you in Elizabeth's voice, which is really fucked up.
That's
because
horrifying.
she starts saying stuff like, "Didn't you come here just to see me again?" Like little British girl voice, even though Baby doesn't sound like that. Like trying to convince him to go and get scooped so that they can steal his body. Anyway, this is maybe one of my absolute favorite speeches in all of games. And I am very sure that you've heard at least the beginning part of when Henry starts speaking.
Oh my god! Jesus Christ. Jesus.
So...
Why is that so fucking hard? What the fuck?
Henry, Emily, Michael Afton, and the rest of the animatronics burn to death, including Springtrap. Everyone burns to death at the end of Pizzeria Simulator. The game, Ultimate Custom Night, is literally William Afton's hell. You are playing as William Afton in that game. You are not intended to win. It is just night after night after night of these souls that you tormented and killed as William Afton coming and killing you unendingly forever and ever. However, because William is a punk-ass bitch motherfucker, fuck that bitch. He incepted his soul onto these chips. Remember how I told you about the VHS tapes and everything?
His little DS Lite chips, yeah.
Yeah, so... upper management at Fazbear, because...
the Freddy clap!
So, as this is happening, some promotional material is made because Fazbear Entertainment is owned by entirely new management, and they want, and this is in like the 2010s at this point, they want to have some resurgence because, you know, the shareholders are different, the CEO is different, and they're just using these old training tapes that they've found, and they're having they're having someone make watch these things. Now, in universe, they say that all of this stuff that happened, these games, like FNAF 1 through 4, are games that exist in the Five Nights at Freddy's universe, because someone who wanted to share the story, perhaps Michael Afton, wanted to share the fact that these things happened, and thought that the best way to do this would be through making a game, like making games that people could just download and see based off of this, like, in-universe place. It would be like if the FNAF games existed, but they were, like, entirely Chuck E. Cheese branded and played seriously. Like played off as seriously. So, the Fazbear, Fazbear Incorporated is like, these slanderous things, with legal action impending, have done irreparable damage. So we're trying to build up our brand and assure you that these never happened. So they gave all of these. They decided, we'll fight fire with fire. We will make training tapes in the form of VR games that people can play to know that they can trust us. We're parodying that game that was saying we did, like, our corporation did all of these terrible things. Our corporation and founders did all of these horrible, terrible things. In the source material of these games, they're made directly from the tapes that were left behind. So one of the daughters of the current shareholders, Vanessa, she was given these tapes.
So Vanessa's a daughter, got it.
Yeah. she was given these tapes to watch, and at the start she was like, there's something weird about these, something's going on, I'm getting weird headaches after I watch them, it's really strange. And then she got really, really into the Fazbear IP. So what Springtrap's soul did is he incepted himself into her brain from these materials. So
okay, so she gets FNAF autism, and then she's like, I guess he lives here now.
It's more like she gets
like worse?
FNAF brainwashed.
I hate it here.
Girlie,
no!
Yeah, she did not want to be FNAF brainwashed. And so
nobody wants to be brainwashed.
In the VR games, there's a character called Glitch Trap. I hate Glitch Trap. He's very scary, especially because in a VR game where you're seeing this thing just nicely
lunge
like
at
waving
you.
at you. No, it doesn't lunge at you. It just waves at you and tells you to come a little bit closer. Let me stop screen sharing. You just see this guy from behind a curtain kind of like doing the come here finger at you, telling you, hey, come here, I got something to show you.
Work Sasuke. Get this man out of here. Where's Sasuke?
So that is Glitch Trap. And that is what incepts itself into Vanessa's brain. And so in part, your brain also gets a little bit of that. It gets a little bit flavor blasted when you play these games, allegedly. Assuming you're not playing, like, when you play the games, you're not supposed to be, like, taking on the place of Vanessa. And then we get Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, which went through so many rewrites, and it's really unfortunate because we were gonna get a really interesting story where, like, Gregory is actually evil, like an evil mastermind, and, like, Glamrock Freddy is corrupted and shit. It would have been so cool. But, unfortunately, it got rewritten to where Gregory's just a fucking kid. I'm
just putting so many rewrites. Gregory's just a guy.
Yeah, Gregory got confirmed just a guy. And you can free Vanessa from the control of William Afton. But, so a thing that's been a consistent through line within all the games is mini games, little 8-bit kind of arcade cabinet style games that you can play within each of the different games. Sometimes after you die, sometimes after you finish a level. The way you free Vanessa is you have to win the game, the arcade cabinets of Princess Quest that are hidden within the, like, open world game of Security Breach. So you have to go and find them, you have to avoid all the animatronics that are trying to kill you, and you have to beat them so that Vanessa can be free, and so that you can get the quote-unquote good ending of Security Breach. And then you get the DLC, which it has more of the original story to it, where, like, okay, so you know how Secret of the Mimic recently came out?
Yes, which I know nothing.
I don't know all that much about Secret of the Mimic either, but the gist of it is there's this third guy. It's not William, it's not Henry, it's a different guy named, what's that terrible song? His son's name is David. Edwin. So there's this guy named Edwin who he made the Mimic. The Mimic was made to take advantage of those cognition chips I mentioned eons ago.
Yes.
Made to take advantage of those and basically be able to, in a way, mimic the way others look, but also to be able to be a one-size-fits-all endoskeleton. Because the way that the animatronics in Five Nights at Freddy's works is that they have the exoskeleton, which is what they look out like on the outside, and then the endos, which is the reason Phone Guy gives you for why they might attack you, is that they think you're an endoskeleton without a suit, and since that's against company policy to have laying around, they try to shove you into a suit to, you know, make sure you're not against company policy. But the real reason was they thought you were William Afton, and so they want to fucking kill you. By shoving you into a suit like they were shoved into suits.
You know what? Me too. If I look like William Afton, I want to be shoved into a locker repeatedly. On God, I probably deserve that shit.
But that's why they try to shove Michael in there, is because they think it's William. But that's the reason they give. They think you're an an endoskeleton. The mimic is an endoskeleton that is made to one-size-fits-all work with anything. Edwin's wife dies, but he makes the mimic to where it thinks it's his wife.
I hate it here. You guys just need to go to therapy.
Yeah, deadass. So
Good fucking god. Okay,
the
so Mimic isn't wife,
Indo-
the Mimic thinks is wife.
Mimic thinks is wife. Mimic has memories of wife. Mimic has feelings of wife and mother. Mimic is not. Mimic does not have any of her soul. But, it's just living in their house, wearing her clothes, but still being a fucking endoskeleton with nothing else on it.
It's giving Pleakley if Pleakley was evil.
It's not even evil, it just wants to be Edwin's wife. But David, the son of Edwin and unnamed mother, is like, you're not my mom! And so, on accident, you're not my mom! On accident, endoskeleton, supposedly kills David. And then gets David's remnant. And so David becomes the mimic, and then there's theories that David, the mimic, becomes Gregory, just pretending to be a child. It's weird. We don't know it. That's how he fits into that tiny little cavity inside of Glamrock Freddy's chest. Whatever. But that's the newest of the lore. The book lore is really interesting because it has Charlie as an animatronic. So Charlie, Henry Emily's daughter, is the main character in like a lot of the larger like actual novel style, not the Fazbear Frights novellas, but like the actual Five Nights at Freddy's novels, like The Silver Eyes and The Fourth Closet and all of that.
Is that the stories that are also like the movies are being loosely based off of?
No, because they really don't have anything to do with those novels have nothing to do with the story. Those are focusing on a different. So the movies are focusing on Mike Schmidt, but it's not. It's like a different. It's a different timeline. They're their own like continuum. They're doing their own thing, but like being heavily informed.
I'm doing my own thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the novels, we focus on Charlie and like her group of friends who came to the Fredbear Family Diner years ago, and to the FNAF 2 location, before she was locked out and died. Like her little group of friends, they come out because one of their friends is having like a funeral. Like one of their friends died.
Oh my god!
So that's what the inciting incident of the books is. And then we discover, as the books go on, that Charlie is kind of like the mimic. She is just an animatronic that Henry Emily made to replace his daughter because she died. And he couldn't cope with that. So he made animatronic Charlie. And to cope with the fact that she has Charlie's memories, she remembers being there, but she also remembers the fact that she exists for a reason. Why does she exist? Oh, because she died. But wait, she's here and she's not programmed to remember ever, not being here. So someone had to die back then. Oh, it's her brother. Her little brother is who died. Obviously, like her younger twin brother is who died that day and who got dragged away by the man in the rabbit suit. That's what happened. So that's the mystery that they have to discover, is who killed Charlie's twin brother that none of the other kids remember playing with because, Charlie says he was just really shy and always hid out in the back of the workshop, and that's why they don't remember him. But over time they realize that Charlie, the adult Charlie that they're all talking to and have been friends with but haven't seen in years, is an animatronic who's using one of these cognition chips to, like, a very highly advanced, like, improved version of it.
Horrifying.
To fool them and also other animatronics into thinking that she's actually a person. She's a very lifelike animatronic on her own, with the added help of subsonic waves making it seem like she's even more human. So that's that continuum, but that's like its own side story that's happening in another state when like Henry Emily burns down the pizzeria simulator
Horrifying.
shit. Yeah, but that's the basic lore of Five Nights at Freddy's. So to recap, game order goes in Five Nights at Freddy's 0, 4, 2, sister location 1, 3, Pizzeria Simulator Ultimate Custom Night, and then sister location and all of those after. I mean, not sister location, but pizza. God, what is the big one called? The one with the glam rocks.
The security breach?
Security breach. Good lord, my brain. Yeah, security breach, and then all the other ones that come after it. You took notes. So that's how it goes. William Afton, already not a very morally good man, willing to experiment on his children.
This man.
Loses his son in 82 because Michael decided to make him go kiss Fredbear, and he died because of it. He then decides to start torturing Michael in the events of Five Nights at Freddy's 4. He discovers Remnant and starts killing more kids and animals in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. He gets spring-locked. Michael decides to figure out what the fuck is going on. He goes to the sister location to try and find out more, because in the time between 4 and 2, his little sister disappeared and got killed by Circus Baby, who he knows that his little sister died due to an accident with one of the animatronics, but, you know, he doesn't know what the fuck happened. But he goes to see what the fuck happened with the animatronic that allegedly killed his sister in sister location. It starts talking to him, and that's, by the way, that's why it's called sister location. Haha, funny play on words.
Oh, no, I'm sad.
It's not just the sister location of the franchise, it's the location where his sister's soul is! Wahoo!
I'm so fucking sad after hearing all of this. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a funny little goof. No! There's no funny little goofs here. It's only sadness!
Yeah, it's only sad. But sister location, Michael Afton gets scooped. He starts haunting his own living corpse after evicting all of the endoskeletons that decided to try and take up residence in it. He goes on to the FNAF 1 location, where he's trying to figure out how to free the animatronics that are there, but he gets fired for smelling bad and tampering with the animatronics because he was trying to free their souls.
Right.
And then we move on to Five Nights at Freddy's 3, which is now about, 20 to 30 years after he accidentally killed his youngest brother, where he finds that his dad has now become Springtrap and has been just effervescing inside of this hidden wall inside of the old Fredbear Family Diner location for so long. He burns that down, trying to kill his father and release his spirit. And then we move on to Pizzeria Simulator, where he gathers all of the animatronics he can, and with the help of Henry Emily, who designed this whole thing, tries to burn it to the ground. Michael Afton dies, Henry Emily dies, Springtrap dies, except no, he doesn't, because he put his brain and soul, kind of, with a little bit of remnant into these promotional tapes that in later years corporate decided that they were going to use for training and shit. And that's when Vanessa gets contaminated by Glitch Trap, and then we get Security Breach and Secret of the Mimic.
I appreciate you so much for explaining all this to me. Dear fucking God! Who? It's not even his name's Scott, right?
Yeah, Scott Cawthon.
Scott, what the fuck? Homie, are you okay? I'm assuming not. What the fuck?
Do you have any final thoughts about Five Nights at Freddy's? Anything that you assumed that actually ended up being wrong, or anything of that sort?
I mean, I think for the majority of the time, like I knew kind of that like there were children who were in the suits and like everything else. I didn't realize that the souls would play that much into it. I thought it was all a silly little goof, a silly little gaff. Like I was like, okay, maybe they're like fully trapped in there, like question marks. But the fact that there's actually an in-canon reason is insane to me. I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan. I'm willing to suspend my disbelief on a lot of shit. But what the fuck is this? What? You can boil the metal down or whatever, and like you can pour into new shit, and it's fine. But also the souls will get loose.
Yeah. So part of the soul is still there, but like the spirit is gone. The spirit's set free.
Sure, that makes sense. Stop. Why are there so many British serial killers? Like this is wild to me that there was so much. I mean, it would make sense, right? There's like multiple games. It's wild to me that there is so much fucking lore in here. Also, I thought Vanessa would be brought up sooner. I'm gonna be so fucking for real. Because I mean, I've seen all the memes and stuff with her, and I was like, oh, maybe she's referenced sooner. No, she's just here towards the end.
So Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach takes place in like 2020X. Like it takes place way in the future from where the original Five Nights at Freddy's games takes place.
I also didn't think that the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise went over that long of a time period.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking I was gonna have to keep track of dates, and now it's like, oh shit, now I actually have to like do fucking math, because what do you mean it's been 10 years between these events? What? My final thoughts, I guess, of the whole like thing, other than like, thank you for explaining this to me, because like, holy shit, there's so much that went into this. Like I'm floored. Like, I love that this is also like a cool way of like talking about like mortality and like other bullshit, like the lengths that people will go for like, you know, scientific research or whatever. But like the fact that everything does loop back into itself is very clever. That's a hard thing to do.
Did a good job writing it.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do. I think it would have been cool if Security Breach did have the you know, the child as the mastermind the whole time. But like, this is fucking neat. My notes look like a fucking insane person wrote them. Jesus Christ.